So a while back, I started to notice I have this really weird habit. Stick around, I'll tell you about it. Welcome to episode 10 of this video cast called I Have No Idea What I'm Doing. If this is your first time here, bienvenido. And if you're a regular, thanks for coming back around. So maybe it's kind of silly, but I do have this weird little habit that I'll confess to. When I'm around or in conversation with someone who has an accent, I tend to start picking up and copying that accent myself. Weird, right? I don't do it intentionally, and it doesn't seem to even matter what type of accent I hear for the most part. Somehow I just subconsciously start to gravitate towards mimicking the partner I'm conversing with. About 5 years ago, Ryan and I went to a work conference in Brooklyn, and we rented this Airbnb to stay in while we were there. It was this really cool brownstone walk-up in a hip neighborhood that felt like quintessential New York. And it was a pretty big place, so we split it with some folks we knew also attending the event. There was a Canadian, a couple of Aussies, and a swell chap from England. We spent like 4 days attending the conference and hanging out before and after. And man, it was borderline embarrassing how much I caught myself using their natural phrase and intonation in conversation right back at them. I'm pretty sure I got called out on it more than once. For me, it really was a subconscious thing though. Something my brain and my mouth just started doing on their own. Or take Nicaragua, for example. I've had the opportunity to go down a handful of times and offer assistance there. And while my Spanish is atrocious, by the end of the week, I'm rolling my R's and even responding to English questions with C instead of yes. Or what about one of my most embarrassing moments in college, when I was telling my roommate of 3.5 years this really funny story, only to finish and have him tell me, "That didn't happen to you, you idiot. That was me." And as I began to recognize the pattern, I decided to do a little research. And you know what I found? I'm not actually alone. It's also not tied to the copying of someone else's speech. It could be their mannerisms, their walk, their habits, or many other things. So psychologists actually call it the Chameleon Effect, and it's been studied for a long time. It's actually an effect that happens both naturally and frequently in many, and it stems from a biological tendency towards empathy with others. Do you have an overly sarcastic friend? It's possible that you're going to be more caustic around them than you are with others. Or are you from the north, but you pick up a little southern twang when you visit your friend in Georgia? You're all good, it's normal. On the flip side, when others mimic us, we tend to connect easier with them because we gravitate towards those who are more like us. In fact, as long as it's not forced, we actually find it flattering when they do. Remember the old imitation is the best form of flattery? Just be careful, there's a fine line. So in true, we have no idea what we're doing fashion, this is a total bust. We uploaded the video today and it immediately got shut down by YouTube for a copyright infringement. So, what we were going to show you right here was a really funny clip of the US office where Andy Bernard really annoys the bejesus out of Michael Scott. Didn't happen. So now you get me telling you about it. You should go Google it because there's about a 3-minute clip that's really, really funny. And we weren't even going to show you the whole thing. But, you live and learn. Alright, back at it. And what's even more interesting to me is that this moves into the other areas of our life as well. Motivational speaker Jim Rohn has famously taught a principle based on the law of averages that states that you're going to be the average of the 5 to 10 people you spend the most time with. This reflects in your thinking, your self-esteem, your decisions, your actions, and yes, even your finances. This means that I could roughly estimate how much you make, the types of books you'll read, and even the type of language that might come out of your mouth just by watching or knowing a little bit about the folks you hang around with regularly. It's crazy, right? It just goes to show that mom wasn't all that off base years ago when she told you bad company corrupts good moral character. So what influences are you surrounding yourself with right now? What books are you reading? What podcasts you're listening to? Heck, what video casts are you watching? Seems like today is a good day to take a quick evaluation of the influences in your life. Are there folks around that just tend to drag you down? Likewise, we should also take a second to make sure that we're the ones who are being a positive example on others. Let's make sure that we are on the top end of our friends' 5 to 10 list, bringing their average up instead of down.
Sorry I annoyed you with my friendship.
So there you have it. My crazy habit might not be all that isolated after all. I'd love to hear it if I'm not alone, you know, stuck on this accent-stealing island all by myself. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in being notified each Friday when these drop, subscribe on your favorite social media platform so you don't miss out. I'll continue to do my best to provide content that hopefully helps to bring your average up. Until next time. Hey, thanks for sticking around and watching the video. If you're DFW local, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I want to invite you this weekend to come to Grapevine, Texas. Main Street Fest is this weekend, the 18th, 19th, and 20th. If you come today, Friday afternoon, before 5 p.m., you and your entire family get in free. Come ride the rides, eat the food, funnel cakes, Might I remind you, funnel cakes. Come on out, bring the family, have a great time. It's a block from our office. Come knock on the door and say hello. We look forward to having you and seeing you out here.